Hello everyone and welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we are live for the Season 3 All-Star Race. Once again, we are at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Joining me in the broadcast booth today is Target Cup Series, otherwise known as Connor. How are you doing today?
Alright, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to get the 60-lap event going.
So it's going to be 60 laps here at the 1.5 mile Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're hopefully in for a good race today. Let's go over the starting lineup for today's event. If I can actually get it loaded properly. Row 1, Chris Buescher will be to the inside of Cole Custer, and in row 2, Eric Almirola will be to the inside of Ricky Stenhouse in the 47 car. Row 3, Ryan Newman, making his Trackmasters Cup Series return, is to the inside of Austin Dillon, and in row 4, Brad Keselowski starts to the inside of Chase Elliott. Row 5, Ty Dillon to the inside of Bubba Wallace, and coming up in row 6, Matt DiBenedetto to the inside of Ross Chastain. Row 7, Kevin Harvick starts to the inside of Michael McDowell, and coming up in row 8, Ryan Blaney starts to the inside of Cliff Bowyer. Row 9, Ryan Preece in the 37 car starts to the inside of Joey Logano, and in row 10, Kyle Busch to the inside of William Byron. Row 11, Christopher Bell to the inside of Corey LaJoie, making his first Trackmasters Cup Series start, and in row 12, Jimmy Johnson to the inside of the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. Row 13, Eric Jones starts to the inside of Alex Bowman, and in row 14, Martin Truex Jr. to the inside of Kyle Larson. Row 15, Kurt Busch will start to the inside of Drake Mays, and rounding out the field today is Drake Mays. There is no row 16. So, Connor, we're in for a 60-lap event today at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Who do you think has a good chance of winning?
I like to look at the Penske Fords. I feel like the 2 car and the 22 have a lot of speed. Ryan Blaney is starting pretty far back, but I feel like just with the right pit strategy, he can make it to the front.
I think the Penske guys definitely have a good chance. I would also look at Chris Buescher as a guy with a good chance of winning. He was pretty good at the start of the Trackmasters Cup Series Season 3. He started out with the second place at Daytona, kind of fell off after race 4 at Gateway, but he's starting on pole tonight. Tonight could be a good momentum builder for that 17 team as we get closer and closer to the playoffs of the Trackmasters Cup Series.
I mean, Kyle Busch did get his first win earlier in the season.
Kyle Busch, it was really shocking to see him. Actually, speaking of Kyle Busch, he won the All-Star race last season at the All-American Speedway. Now, it's a very different racetrack. The All-American Speedway is only a third of a mile in length. We're running a very different format tonight, but Kyle Busch could also have a good chance of winning. He starts a little bit far back in the field, but with enough wrecks and crashes, I think Kyle Busch could get up to the front.
I think it's going to be interesting seeing how some of these smaller team drivers, such as Darrell Wallace Jr. and, like, the 32 car, they're all, like, starting towards the front. So I feel like this is going to be interesting. Let's see how long they can stay up front with those guys.
There's a big shakeup in terms of the field tonight. Ty Dillon starting towards the front. Cole Custer also starting outside row 1. Chris Buescher, we haven't really seen him play too much of a prominent role in the Trackmasters Cup Series recently, other than his second place at Daytona. As I said before, it could be a good momentum builder for not only that 17 team, but really all of Roush. Ryan Newman has been out since the race 7 at Kansas. He will be making his return at the Coke 600. That'll be next weekend in the 6 car, but tonight will be his first unofficial race back in the 6 car. Could be a good night for Roush Fenway.
Yeah, look out for some of these paint schemes also under the lights. Some very flashy new paint schemes they're running tonight. Under the lights, these things are going to be booming on the track.
I did see one question that I do want to address in the chat. Is the series going to be Nr2003 from now on? No, it won't be. Nr2003 is just going to be for special events, like the St. Petersburg Grand Prix last weekend. There's going to be a race at North Wilkesboro on Thursday, which is going to be on Nr2003. Stop motions are going to be for the main series races, and Nr2003 is going to be for any special races, such as the All-Star Race or maybe even the Clash next season. Also, I might do a couple of one-off road course races here. There are a ton of mods in the Nr2003 community, so we'll see how this goes, but for now, the Trackmasters Cup Series is staying stop motion other than its All-Star Race. Austin Dillon in that golden number 3 car also starting pretty close to the front tonight. He has a pretty fast car. We'll see what he's able to get done.
Yeah, one guy that I'm looking at right now is the 10 of Eric Almirola. I mean, he was amazing last year in Trackmasters Season 2. And he's been pretty decent so far at the start of Season 3. Maybe he can win this All-Star race.
Almirola, he was so close to a championship last season. He wasn't able to get it done in Rockingham, and he really hasn't gotten off to the best start in Season 3, but he has been quietly consistent. He is outside the top 12 in points right now, but a good race tonight could build some momentum for that 10 team.
Yeah. Some of the Storehouse cars have been looking very fast in the Trackmasters Cup Series.
Sorry to cut you off here, Connor, but the command to fire engines has been given. I don't know if the chat heard that or if the live stream heard that, but we are rolling here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. One pace lap, that's all it is before we get ready for some action here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Matt DiBenedetto also with a good run tonight in that 21 car, starting pretty close to the front. Final picks for today. Connor, who do you got?
Right now I'm looking at the 10 of Eric Almirola and the 2 of Brad Keselowski. I feel like those Fords are going to be dominant in today's race.
My final pick is going to be Ross Chastain. He had a great race at Las Vegas in Season 3. Hasn't really been that close to the front ever since then, but I think that if he gets a good race tonight, it could be a good momentum builder for that 15 team as we get closer and closer to the Trackmasters Cup Series playoffs.
Yeah, don't sleep on the 47. He is starting on the outside of row number 2. If he can stay up there, I think towards the end of this race, he might have a car to get it done.
We know that Stenhouse is a very, very aggressive driver, really on all tracks. We've seen it so far in 2020, and we've seen it before. Think back to the 2018 Coke 400. We'll see if Ricky Stenhouse can pull off an aggressive move tonight. We're ready to go here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Season 3 All-Star race. Chris Buescher is bringing the field off turn 4 as the pace car is going to make that hard left turn into the pit lane. Two Ford Mustangs on the front row as we get ready for the All-Star race. Green flag is out. Chris Buescher will lead us down for 60 laps at Charlotte. Into turn 1 now. Buescher has a good lead over Cole Custer as they head through turn 1. 3 wide behind. That's Ty Dillon on Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott as the field rockets off turn 2.
There goes Cole Custer falling back a little bit with the 6 of Chase Briscoe back there. As you see now, the 47, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. dives down to the inside for 3rd.
So actually, Newman is back in the 6 car for this race. This will be his first race back as we continue into the playoffs. Briscoe, he had a good showing in the 6 car, very consistent, but now it's back to Ryan Newman as the field comes through 1 and 2 once again. 3 wide behind now, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Newman for a brief moment there. They get that all sorted out as the field comes down the back straightaway.
Chris Buescher still maintaining a pretty decent lead right now over the 10 car of Eric Almirola as he wheels it off turn number 4. He's going to lead another
we got trouble.
lap.
Matt DiBenedetto around. Looks like Kurt Busch in that one as well. Caution is out as DiBenedetto slides back up into traffic. Big crash on the exit of turn 1. DiBenedetto up and over. Caution is out here at Charlotte for a hard crash coming out of turn 4. Matt DiBenedetto, the main one in that one. If that makes any sense. We'll take a look at a replay of what happened. It was coming off of turn number 4. Matt DiBenedetto on the inside of Ross Chastain and Brad Keselowski in a 3-wide situation. DiBenedetto gets up into Keselowski, gets down onto Chastain. DiBenedetto's through the infield, out of control at that point. Locks up the brakes. He just has no traction. He slides right back up into traffic. Logano slowing down, trying to avoid it. Unfortunately, gets right in the path of DiBenedetto. Matt goes over after hitting the wall. Big crash on the front straightaway start out this race. Caution is out. Truex spinning as well. Drake May's involved. So, not even 2 laps
there
in.
goes.
And
There goes some of the favorites for today. Such as Matt DiBenedetto. He had a very fast car, one of the favorites. I know a lot of people wanted to see him
And
get
Eric
the Silverendo story.
Sorry to cut you off there, but Eric Almirola has heavy nose damage. We'll take a look at how he got that after these pit stops. Field already coming in for the pit sequence. Tire wear must be pretty high. I messed up that sentence. Here comes the field down pit road for the first stops of the night with Eric Almirola having heavy nose damage. I don't know how that happened. We'll take a look at that after the pit stops. Now, I'd watch out on pit lane here. And Eric Almirola's out of the race. Oh, that's interesting. So Eric Almirola is now out of the race after getting heavy nose damage. I don't know how he got that. We'll take a look at it now. This is pretty important. He had a great car for tonight. Started in, I think it was 3rd or 4th, and all of a sudden with heavy nose damage. How did that happen? Oh, he just ran into Kyle Larson. I don't know what Larson was doing so slow on the racetrack, but Almirola is now out of this race. And Kyle Larson gets into Kurt Busch on pit road. I told you to watch out for pit road because it's very busy down there. I think Buescher might have gotten into some trouble as well. He's a little bit far back. It's a very tight pit road, and mistakes are certainly able to happen. I think he got ran into. Yeah, Custer ran into Chris Buescher there. You can see Buescher's car gets dropped off the jack, and Custer just goes right into him. Custer still keeps the lead, but Chris Buescher has lost some spots.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes,
the audio was out for a second.
Yep, I got you. So,
okay.
After Chris Buescher's trouble on pit road, Cole Custer is actually in the lead of this race. So a big shake-up to the standings as we progress through this race. I'm honestly surprised at Cole Custer. He had a great qualifying run. He hasn't really done too much in the Trackmasters Cup Series Season 3 from now on. But this is a good showing for him tonight, as well as Ricky Stenhouse, Ryan Newman as well. Yeah, as we're under caution here.
I feel like Darrell Wallace Jr. has been a little bit of quiet for these first few laps. He's up there right now in the top 5. Look for him on this restart.
Has had a very quietly good day so far, or I guess I should say a good night so far. But he's running up there in the top 5, top 10. He might be able to contend for a win at the end of this thing, but we still got to make it through a lot more laps. We're just going to go to a quick cutaway here so we can skip past this caution period. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back. Welcome back to NASCAR on TMG. After that short commercial break, we are almost ready to go back racing here as the pace car is taking the field down the back straightaway. Thankfully, that cutaway actually worked. I have my hotkeys set up properly. Was worried that it would just kind of stay on that forever. Cole Custer is your race leader. Going by 2003 rules, your lap car and Matt Benedetto will line up on the inside as we get ready for the restart here on lap 8 of 60.
I think it's going to be interesting for the 17 of Chris Buescher. He hasn't really been in traffic all day, and right now he is restarting, I believe, in the 7th position.
It's still very it's still very early in the race, so there's a lot of time for things to change. Probably a lot more wrecks to happen by the way they've been racing so far. Hopefully we can get a nice green flag run in and see some battling for the lead. Pace car is going to make the hard left turn onto pit road as the field exits turn 4. Ready to go back racing here at Charlotte with Cole Custer, your leader. We'll see if maybe Stenhouse can challenge him for that. De Benedetto on the inside is a lap down. Cole Custer will take the field into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. We're back racing at Charlotte. Benedetto really slow on that restart there as Ryan Newman is making a move to the inside of Stenhouse as they go to turn 1. Here comes the 6 car of Ryan Newman up the inside. Dylan maybe trying to get a spot out of that. Almost 3 wide. Newman, trouble.
Oh, Newman.
He saves it. Newman went all the way down to the inside. He was able to save it. He's still on the inside of Stenhouse going for 2nd through 3 and 4. Stenhouse gets the run on the outside. Now Dylan on the inside. Tried to take him 3 wide. Couldn't work. Here comes Bubba Wallace. Green flag for the first lap of action. We are still racing.
Huge jostling for the 2nd position. Right now it is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. holding the position, but big battle between the 6 car and the 3 car.
And almost trouble for Bell and Michael McDowell there as we see a big pack with Alex Bowman in the middle of it coming off turn 4. Here comes the field through 3 and 4 once again. We might have trouble here. They are 4 wide behind. They make it through without wrecking. Impressive job by Harvick, Keselowski, and Chastain, who are all in that mess. We see Stenhouse here starting to close in on your leader, Cole Custer. That pack in the middle still strong as ever as the Roush teammates are side by side coming off turn 2.
Yeah, look at Chris Buescher all the way up to the 3rd position. Remember, he restarted 7th, so he's gaining a ton of traction right now.
For the lead, Ricky Stenhouse around Cole Custer will take it, but here comes Chris Buescher. After restarting 7th, he's gotten an incredible restart. He's fighting back for the race lead on the inside in 1 and 2.
Side by side off of turn 2. Looks like it's going to be Chris Buescher taking the lead down the backstretch.
Buescher and Stenhouse have basically swapped teams since last season. It's going to be very interesting for Stenhouse, who's basically racing his last year's car. 3 wide behind, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman going 3 wide coming off turn 4. Behind them, it's also 3 wide, with that looks like McDowell, Boyer, and Bell.
See a fight for the 4th position. Looks to be Chase Elliott to the inside of the 3 car of Austin Dillon. Is now to go 3 wide in the back. Darrell Wallace Jr. gets squeezed into the middle.
Big scramble here for the 4th and 5th position. Austin Dillon having a very good night. We know how aggressive Dillon can be as he gets up the inside of Chase Elliott coming off turn 4.
Still 3 wide back there with Darrell Wallace Jr. on the inside, Ryan Newman up on the outside, and Ty Dillon on the inside.
Ty Dillon having a very good night. As you can see, Newman rocketing around the outside. We might have trouble here. Chastain and Keselowski made contact, but they get through without wrecking. Jimmy Johnson also back in the pack. We got trouble. Jones and Bowman went down to the apron, but they save it. That's going to put them 4 wide going into the corner. They're going to make it through. A very impressive display of talents here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's so much squabbling for position, but right now it's Chris Buescher driving away with this race lead.
Yeah, I wonder how Ricky Stenhouse feels seeing his old ride right in front
almost
of him.
Sideways off turn 2. Bubba Wallace went sliding, coming off the banking. He saves it, gets it back going in the straight direction. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no problem. Battle for the 5th position right now at the 41 and the 3 car. Looks like Austin Dillon's going to take it entering 1.
Dillon up the inside of Custer will clear him for that 5th spot. Battle for 2nd also heating up. Here goes Chase Elliott to the inside of Ricky Stenhouse. Elliott takes
Chase Elliott.
inside. Elliott takes it to the inside, tries to get Stenhouse cleared off 4, no problem there. But look at Kevin Harvick. We haven't really talked about him all night, and here he is fighting for the second spot. Harvick is a very strong Mustang, and I think we overlooked him in the pre-race show.
Yeah, haven't really talked much about Harvick, but right now, that car is flying through the field as he goes to the inside of Chase Elliott, side by side off of turn 2.
I can now confirm Harvick is on the lead lap, fighting for position as he's trying to get that second spot from Chase Elliott. But all this battling is really just helping Buescher drive away. I don't know if Buescher maybe just has a more short-run car, or if he just has a really good car.
Yeah, that 17 car, Roush Fenway hasn't really been the strongest, but Chris Buescher right now, he's making that car look almost like a Penske car.
Almost something happened there. Chase Elliott went sliding off turn 2 with Kevin Harvick. Again, they saved it, but that's proving to be the trouble spot for drivers here tonight. Harvick tried to make a move on Elliott, just caught him sideways there.
Yeah, off of turn 2 has been a real trouble spot.
And there they go! Ty Dillon around, Ryan Preece around. Caution is out again. Preece to the outside wall, collects Tyler Reddick. Caution is out once again.
Heavy damage on Ryan Preece's car. Big wreck off of turn 4.
Joey Logano was in the middle of that, but it really all started with Ty Dillon and Ross Chastain. They went sliding off of turn number 4. You can see Dillon go sliding right there. A great save by that 13 car, but then looking back in the pack, Preece goes around, slides just between Blaney and Bell. Corey LaJoie nowhere to go. Tyler Reddick also involved. Heavy front-end damage for that 8 car. We'll take another look at what happened to Ryan Preece here. Always tends to confuse me that Preece is in the 37 now, not the 47, as you can see. Nearly 4 wide coming off the corner. Logano hooks Ryan Preece. Actually, no. So Bell got into Ryan Blaney, who then got into Ryan Preece. Preece goes slamming into the outside wall and slides up into Corey LaJoie.
I'm sure too many drivers can't be too happy right now with the 15 of Ross Chastain. Both of those incidents, he was pushing the driver who wrecked.
We know how aggressive of a driver Ross Chastain is. Now, luckily, that actually didn't accumulate into a wreck there. That was more Christopher Bell than anyone. But Ross Chastain, definitely not making many friends tonight. I don't know if we can get a very good angle of this, but you can take a look at how Ryan Preece, his car basically went into the air after he hit Tyler Reddick there. We'll take a look at it here. You can see he locks the brakes up. Very predictable spin for Ryan Preece, but then he hits the wall, bounces up into Corey LaJoie, and take a look at how that 37 car just launches into the air after he hits Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, it's always scary when you see a crash like that. Hopefully the 37 car, Ryan Preece, is okay. As you see right now, he is on pit road.
Ryan Preece does appear to be okay, considering he didn't have to go to the infield care center. We'll take a look at the race off pit road. It has once again been won by Chris Buescher. So not too much drama on pit road, as Buescher will keep the lead of this race. Kevin Harvick in third. Behind them is Ricky Stenhouse, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, Ross Chastain, and Clint Bowyer. So we're gonna cut away to the race logo really quick here as we skip past this caution period. Don't go anywhere though, because NASCAR on TMG will be right back after this. And we are back live here on TMG. You can see the lights are out on the Dodge Challenger pace car. Chris Buescher still your race leader over Chase Elliott. Matt Benedetto, once again, your first car a lap down, lining up on the inside. So as we come to this restart here, I would watch out for Ross Chastain, because we know how aggressive he can be. He's a very aggressive driver, as I just said. I'd watch out for Chastain. He might make something happen here.
Yeah, Chastain, very aggressive driver. He's on a very small team. He's trying to make a lot of big gains today.
That team actually new to the Trackmasters Cup Series this year, CFM Ganassi. It was an alliance from last year Checkered Flag Motorsports and this year Chip Ganassi Racing. Those two teams have formed together and picked up Ross Chastain and Drake Mays as their driver. We have seen a big improvement in performance on the Trackmasters Cup Series side of things. Mays has been able to score some solid finishes. Chastain has as well. Think back to his run at Las Vegas where he was so close to a race win. So here comes Buescher off turn 4. Here we go, back racing at Charlotte. Chris Buescher will lead us down. And look at the restart from Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. They are already right to the bumper of Buescher. Here goes Harvick to the inside of Elliott as they go into turn 1.
Right now, it's Harvick and Elliott battling for the second position. 47, Ricky Stenhouse
Oh,
Jr.
hard in the
looking on the
wall.
inside,
Michael
big wreck.
McDowell, Ryan Newman, hard in the outside wall. Eric Jones involved in that one as well. We'll watch the race back to the line now. It's all Chris Buescher in front of the field. Behind them, almost going 3 wide. Chris Buescher is going to win the race back to the line. Caution is out for a hard, vicious crash on the back straightaway. Caution is obviously out. Ryan Newman went flying through the air in that one. Oh man, that's so unfortunate on Newman's return. Oh man, that was heavy, heavy impact there.
I believe I saw the 24 also flying through the air. Huge, huge wreck.
It started with Michael McDowell. Looks like Bubba Wallace hooked Newman and McDowell. They all went into the wall, but this is where it happens. Joey Logano out of control, right slamming into Ryan Newman. Those two cars go flipping through the air. Eric Jones sliding down to the infield. Caution is out. Ryan Blaney involved. Kyle Larson nowhere to go. Let's take a look at it from another angle. Obviously a very serious crash there for everyone who was involved.
My bad, that was not the 24. In fact, that was the 34 car, Michael McDowell.
So it all started with Bubba Wallace. And obviously I'm not saying it's his fault, but he got into Ryan Newman, who got into Michael McDowell, and they went hard into the wall, and Joey Logano nails Newman, and Newman goes flipping up and over, nailed by Ryan Blaney. That is eerily similar to his Daytona 500 crash. Thank goodness this isn't real life. We'll take another look. The real speed really just shows us how violent of a crash that was. Thank goodness this is only a video game. That would have been a serious crash in real life. We'll go on board with Michael McDowell, see what he saw through that wreck. He really had nowhere to go. Vicious crash for McDowell. Luckily, again, only the video game, so no actual repercussions coming from this.
Yeah, we might want to go on board with the 24 William Byron. He had an amazing save there, threading the needle.
We'll take a look at chase cam for William Byron's car. Woo, look at that. One more car I want to take a look at. I think Joey Logano had a pretty good view of the whole thing. Unfortunately, he really didn't have anywhere to go. We'll go on board with the 22 right here.
Yeah, nowhere to go for the 22. Huge impact. You can see what 34, and he ultimately just gets collected. Not at the fault of Logano.
Scary crash. Still want to see if I can find a better camera angle of it because it's kind of difficult to find one that really does this justice. McDowell went into the catch fence. There they go. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson going on the outside, barely avoid it, but this is a huge mess on the back straightaway.
Brad Keselowski almost got untouched despite going through the middle of all that.
Brad Keselowski, we can take another look at it here. This might give us a good idea. McDowell.
I think there might have been a little bit of damage.
Sorry, what was that?
I was going to say, I think there might have been a little bit of damage on the nose of the two car, but almost untouched for Brad
You
Keselowski.
can see that white car coming through there right between Boyer and Jones. Great wreck avoidance by Brad Keselowski. Makes it through practically unscathed, yeah. For a wreck of that scale, you would expect a lot more damage to Keselowski, who was practically right in the middle of that, drove underneath McDowell and Newman. He makes it through all right. So we'll skip back live. As we are under caution, pit stops must have been completed at this point. We spent quite a while under that replay. And actually, we're already ready to go back green. And Austin Dillon is your race leader. So we don't really have time right now to take a look at how Austin Dillon got into the race lead. Maybe could have been, maybe he just didn't stop. But Chris Buescher is back to third now.
Yeah, because he met the Benedetto on the inside. He is still the first car one lap down. He will be restarting on that inside line beside Austin Dillon.
Cars 20 through 30 have all retired. Drake May is also out as well. So, we're just about now coming to halfway in this race. We're kind of getting an idea of who's fast, who's not. Now that we've seen a couple of guys get taken out in wrecks, who is your pick to win this race?
I'm going with the 17 right now. His car just looks so strong. Chris Buescher's really been turning on the jets since the start of this thing. He has such a good short run car. I think he might be able to run away with this win.
I'm going to take a bit of a gamble on my pick here. I'm going to say Kevin Harvick is going to come away with the win here. Yeah, I can now confirm that Christopher Bell and Austin Dillon are your race leaders. I'm going with Kevin Harvick for this race win as the pace car is coming off turn 4, about to take a sharp dive onto pit road. I've been calling a couple of the restarts at this point, so I'm going to let you take it away for this one.
Alright. Here comes the Dodge Charger pace car going right on a pit road. Coming off turn 4, it's Austin Dillon on the outside. Lap car of the 21 on the inside. So the Geico restart zone, green flag is back in the air. We are back to racing at Charlotte.
A good start by our two leaders on the outside of Matt DiBenedetto. Just a bit of a breakaway now back to Chris Buescher. We'll find out if they pitted under that last caution pretty soon because tires make a huge difference here at Charlotte.
Yeah, look at the 95 slowly creeping up on the 3 cars.
Oh, we got another crash. Ross Chastain in the wall.
Trouble.
He saves it. We are not under caution. Thank goodness I was not about to go under another yellow flag. That was going to get boring.
Amazing save by Chastain back in the pack. As right now it's still a battle for the lead, as no one's really pulling away.
As much as I do want to take another look at what happened to Chastain there, we have a pretty good battle for the lead heating up here. There's my pick, Kevin Harvick, running up inside the top 5. Here comes Buescher to the inside, starting to clear a path for that second group of cars as Austin Dillon continues to lead. Now Stenhouse to the inside of Harvick through 3 and 4. They're about to go 3 wide. They keep it clean. Hopefully they can keep it clean through 1 and 2. That's where we've seen the most incidents happen. Almost halfway through this race now, and already a good majority of the cars out of it. Here's Christopher Bell, all the way up at the high side, gets a nice run off turn 2 to the back bumper of Chris Buescher.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick back to the 5th position right now. These first 5 cars are forming their own kind of group right now. Austin Dillon in his rearview mirror. This is what he likes to see. He likes to see side-by-side battle. As you see here right now, he is pulling away from this field.
But now Buescher's clear of that pack, so he's going to have clear leeway all the way up to Austin Dillon as they come through 1 and 2 once again. Battle for 3rd between Bell and Stenhouse, but up front, here comes Buescher. Oh, there they go! Stenhouse all the way to the inside. He saves it. Great save by Ricky Stenhouse. Kevin Harvick's going to go up the inside of both of them, but that's going to cost them a lot of time. Back to the front straightaway now. Chris Buescher is gaining on Austin Dillon.
Yeah, this backstretch just seems to be a problem for all the drivers. Everyone's just scrambling for position. Seems like almost every other lap we see someone go diving down to the inside. Amazing saves by some of these drivers.
It's been a really fun race to watch so far. Thank you to Connor for joining me tonight as we have a battle for the lead heating up now.
Yeah, Chris Buescher is catching the 3 car of Austin Dillon right on the back bumper as now they go back to the start-finish line.
I had to do a practice race before this race started in order to really get my live commentary down. I confused Buescher for Stenhouse so many times. So now we have the move for the lead between Chris Buescher and Austin Dillon.
Right on the outside for the 3 car, still side by side. Chris Buescher right now on the inside with the advantage heading into 3.
Buescher on the inside just couldn't quite drive it to that blue line. He's going to get clear of Austin Dillon now coming off turn 4, coming back to the line, coming to lap 34 of 60. Chris Buescher is back to the race lead.
Such a dominant car early on for the Roush Fenway team. Chris Buescher really putting on a show. As now here comes Austin Dillon looking back to the inside.
I wouldn't completely count out Austin Dillon. We know he's a very aggressive driver. People, I think, really underestimate Dillon quite a bit. He used to be a really good driver in the Xfinity Series. I just don't think he's quite gotten to grips with the Cup car. But one of his 2 Cup wins has come at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Could tonight be his first, or I guess it would be his 3rd Trackmasters Cup Series win.
Yeah, right now I see the 41 of Cole Custer gaining on this pack a little bit, lap by lap. I see 3 cars take another look to the inside.
Buescher slides to the inside. Austin Dillon as well. They both save it. This track, I think it's starting to get a little bit more rubbered in. That's why I don't think we're seeing quite as many wrecks happen there as we were at the start of the race. But now Austin Dillon is back around Buescher for the race lead.
Yeah, so many incidents right now, so many great saves. These amazing drivers are putting on a show. As now you see the 17 back to the inside of the 3, as now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is to the inside of Christopher Bell for 3rd.
This reminds me quite a bit of Atlanta 2001. Very similar track configuration. We're seeing that same thing of 4 and 5 cars just really breaking away from the field and forming a huge just lead battle.
Yeah, right now Kevin Harvick is just watching this side-by-side battles happen in front of him. So now Chris Buescher is going to maintain the lead. As here comes the 47 looking to the inside of the 3 car of Austin Dillon. He's going to take the 2nd position away.
Don't count out Ricky Stenhouse for this race win. He's a much better intermediate racer than I think people give him credit for. He's gaining on the back bumper of that 17 car. Here they go to turn 3. Couldn't make the dive there.
No, he could not. 95 Christopher Bell is still there looking for the 3rd position. Now he's going to duck in line behind Austin Dillon.
5-car breakaway for the lead with Cole Custer bridging the gap between this group and the group behind. My pick, Kevin Harvick, still having a quietly good night. I think that if things go wrong for the leaders, as we've seen can happen, I think Harvick's in a really good position right now.
Now, right now, something that you haven't really seen all day. The 17, Chris Buescher, has not been able to pull away as he's been for most of the day.
I think one thing that we might want to pay attention to is that I messed that up horribly. If we don't have a caution in the next few laps, we could actually start to see green flag pit stops. And in the practice races I've done for this event, there have been quite a few mishaps coming to pit road. Watch out!
Oh,
Bell
95 of Bell. 95 of Bell loose all the way down to the inside with Kevin Harvick. Nice save for both of those drivers.
Harvick, we know how aggressive of a driver he is. He's getting up the inside of Christopher Bell now, a rather unproven rookie. Harvick going for 4th place, that is.
Yeah, but he's got a long way to go to the 3rd position right now, as it seems like those 2 cars are stalling each other out. That's giving Austin Dillon some time to pull away.
Battle for the lead. Here comes Stenhouse up the inside of Buescher, all the way to the inside, as we've seen before. Couldn't get the pass done there.
So far, this has been looking a lot like a restrictor plate race. This has been reminding me of a lot of...
And here they come to pit road. Austin Dillon and Christopher Bell, the first 2 drivers to come. Will we see any other takers behind? Looks like they are the only 2. Now, this is a little bit risky. I've seen a lot of incidents as these drivers start coming to pit road. Really, pitting early might not be in a driver's best interest.
Yeah, as you see right now, the 95 pull into his pit stop, 4 tires and fuel for Christopher Bell. So here comes Austin Dillon to pull into his pit stop too.
Looking back at the front of the field, I think we're going to see a couple of more drivers bring it down pit road. Kevin Harvick still in the top 5 there. Good run for him. Stenhouse still in, or not Stenhouse, Buescher still in the lead, but Stenhouse is chasing him.
Yeah, 19 we just saw is on pit road. He's going to leave pit road. Same with Austin Dillon, as he's going to get out first in front of Christopher Bell.
All right, I think now we're going to start seeing some drivers coming to the pit lane. Here's the battle for what looks like 4th. Up front, your leaders are coming to pit road.
Yeah,
oh,
47
Chastain
car
overshoots it. Ross Chastain was going to pit road, missed it, has to drive across the grass. That's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, you talked about this entry being very, very hard, as we just saw Chastain was a product of that right now.
We'll take another look at what happened to Ross Chastain. He made the left onto pit road, but it was a little late. I think he saw everyone else coming, thought it might be a good idea to come, but unfortunately, couldn't get the grip, slams into the inside wall.
Yeah, Chastain has not had the day he's wanted. In fact, he's been pretty aggressive all day, but he keeps getting into the center of some of these wrecks. Not too much damage on that 15 car, though.
An aggressive
He's trying
pit
to make a
entry
pit
did
road
not
effort.
pay off, but what might pay off is Kevin Harvick's pit stop. He comes out in the 2nd position. Kevin Harvick slowly working his way towards the front.
Yeah, I see a little bit of different strategy from what we've seen from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the NASCAR Cup Series, as he usually has been waiting out until as far as he can go on those tires and fuel, as he is now coming with the leaders.
So we'll take a look at the battle for the lead now. Chris Buescher with a very good short run car, maybe starting to pull away. But actually, with the undercut, I think your race leaders at this point are Christopher Bell and Austin Dillon. Well, they're not officially your race leaders. Your race leaders are, I think, at this point, Cole Custer and Ross Chastain, but that's obviously through the pit sequence. Your actual leaders are Christopher Bell and Austin Dillon. There's Custer coming out of the pit lane now, Chastain as well, but I think at this point they have been passed. 3 wide, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse, and ooh, that was close. Kevin Harvick there on the outside makes it through as Chris Buescher is starting to pull away.
Yeah, they go 3 wide, back again. Oh, a little bit loose for Jimmy Johnson. Almost got into the 4 car. Kevin Harvick's now. Harvick's going to rock around the outside.
Look at that move by Kevin Harvick. He was right up against the wall, threading the needle between him and Jimmy Johnson. He drives it all the way up to second, but now he has Stenhouse on his inside.
Here comes the 47.
Oh, but Matt DiBenedetto just killed Harvick's run coming off turn 4. He got stuck behind him. That's going to let Bubba Wallace pass into 3rd.
See, right now, Christopher Bell and Austin Dillon battling it out down the backstretch. Austin Dillon looking to the inside of Bell as they enter 3.
So these are your race leaders right now. Austin Dillon and Christopher Bell pitted a lap earlier, and I think that's showing just how much tires matter. That gave them like a 2-second lead. So great strategy by Austin Dillon and Christopher Bell.
Here, remember, he has won at this track before. So he's trying to go for 2 right now.
Austin Dillon has actually won in the Trackmasters Cup Series before. His first win came season 1 at Bristol, second win season 1 at New Hampshire. I'm surprised I still remember that. Didn't win at all in season 2, but maybe trying to go for a win in the season that is basically his car number.
Yeah, all these drivers, as the laps tick down right now, all they can think of is $1 million, $1 million.
Speaking of laps ticking down, we are much closer to the end of the race than I thought we were. Lap 48 of 60 now. It really is crunch time. We might see one more cycle of green flag pit stops. We might not. Trouble. Clint Boyer and Bubba Wallace that is sliding down the back straightaway. That will bring out a caution.
Yeah, Clint Boyer having such a quiet day today. He was moving his way towards the front. Hate to see it end like that.
Caution is out for this spin on the back straightaway. Boyer was not on the lead lap. Very disappointing night for the 14 car. You can see they were 3 wide coming off turn 2. That same trouble spot. Wallace just drifted up the track. Harvick was caught in the middle of them. Contact. Boyer slides down to the inside, gets fully spun around by Kevin Harvick in the end. A bad night goes even worse for Clint Boyer.
I think if you look at this from a different angle, you can see the 14 car make a little bit of contact with the wall of a 4, goes sliding down the track right into the other cars.
Another thing that I wanted to look at was Kevin Harvick's move. I think it was on Jimmy Johnson. It was a while back, but it was an incredible move around the outside. Harvick was basically pressed up against the wall, and he still went around the outside of Jimmy Johnson. It was right here, I think. Yeah, take a look at Kevin Harvick and how close he was to the wall. This should give us a good idea of his move. Right up against the wall, right around Jimmy Johnson and Ricky Stenhouse.
Could we get a leaderboard display for some of the fans?
So Austin Dillon is your race leader after pit stops. He is lined up at the front of the field. Lap 50 of 60 now. So one thing to point out, this is NASCAR Racing 2003. We're going by 2003 rules. And there is no overtime in 2003. So if there's a caution, I think it's around lap 55, race is over. If we see a caution, if we see a wreck after this restart, it better be soon. Because if we don't, then this race will be over.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting 10 laps of joggling for position here, as it seems like there are no lap cars. No one is down on the inside.
It'll be a 10-lap dash to the finish line. Now, I do think there might be lap cars eventually. The lights are not out on the pace car just yet. However, we will skip ahead to when lights are out on the pace car. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from this short break in action. Back live on TNG, Austin Dillon, your race leader, no lap cars. You were right in your initial assessment. We're ready to go back racing here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Race leader Austin Dillon, next to Christopher Bell, or I guess I should say in front of Christopher Bell. My pick, Kevin Harvick, outside the top 5. Here we go.
Back to the Geico restart zone. It's Austin Dillon leading the field. Oh, now Christopher Bell with a bad restart. He's going to lag all the way back to the 17 car.
Horrible restart by Christopher Bell. That's going to put him under attack from Buescher as they go to turn 1. Austin Dillon with a big gap to the race lead right now. Here comes Stenhouse. Hard charge by that 47 car puts him up the inside of the 17.
Getting out 47 back down to the inside of the 17 car. Looking down, 17 is now going to block. Christopher Bell still falling back as now here comes the 13 car. Ty Dillon looking to the inside.
3 wide for a moment there between Jimmy Johnson, Daniel Suarez, Cole Custer, and Kevin Harvick. They get that one sorted out pretty quickly as we go back to the front. Chris Buescher, he's gaining on Austin Dillon.
Yeah, right now as they rock down the backstretch. See a little bit of jostle for position back there for Kevin Harvick getting loose. As now here comes a 47 back to the inside of Chris Buescher looking for the second spot.
This is going to be an all-out dash to the finish. To the 10 people that have tuned in, you are in for a great race. Here they come back to the start-finish line. Only 6 laps to go. If a caution comes out, now the race is over. Stenhouse to the inside of Dillon couldn't make that move work. Buescher up high is going to get a nice swing of momentum as they come off turn 2. Johnson and Harvick nearly wrecked behind. They were able to keep that clean. Here comes Stenhouse.
Yeah, they're rocking down the backstretch. Here comes the 17 looking to the outside. Might have had a little bit of contact with the wall there, so he's really slow. Now gaining back some momentum. Look at the 13 car down on the inside. Ty Dillon as they cross the line with 5 to go.
The Dillon brothers racing side by side for second. It's just letting Stenhouse pull away with this race lead. 3 wide. Buescher up the inside of Dillon, and Dillon, oh, there they go almost. Not quite. They're able to keep it straight. Dillon and Dillon still side by side. Well, not side by side anymore, racing for second, but up front, it's all Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, Stenhouse has $1 million on his ride as he crosses the line with 4 laps to go. He just cannot wait for this thing to be over.
Ricky Stenhouse, he's driven a great race all day. Very quiet, very much more, I think, patient than we've seen out of Stenhouse in the past, but it's paid off. He is out front of the field here, coming to 3 laps to go.
Yeah, here comes 17 car Chris Buescher looking back to the inside of Austin Dillon. He's making a charge for second, but is it too little too late? As you see, they go 3 wide now. Down the inside is Cole Custer.
And trouble! Christopher Bell to the inside, keeps it straight, still racing. It's been incredible these last couple of laps, all these saves happening as Cole Custer is going up the inside of Austin Dillon.
We are within 2 laps to go now. It's the 47 still pulling away with the lead as they rocket down the backstretch.
We're coming around to 2 laps to go this time by. Will anyone be able to stop Ricky Stenhouse? I think what Stenhouse actually wants right now is a caution. That would end the race.
Yeah. See, as right now Stenhouse is going to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go.
Not the white flag. We still got 2 more laps to go. Stenhouse going into turn 1 with a nice lead over Chris Buescher. Here they come off 2 and down the back.
Off at turn 2, it's Ricky Stenhouse.
Trouble!
Don't the lead, Austin Dillon down
they
low.
Save it. Battle for the lead, non-existent. It's all Ricky Stenhouse through 3 and 4.
Off of turn 4, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. leading, coming to take the white flag.
1 lap to go, $1 million on the mind of Ricky Stenhouse. Chris Buescher giving chase, but he's not close enough as they come through 1 and 2. Battle for third between Custer and Dillon, but there are no prizes for third, only a prize for the winner. As they come down the back straightaway, Ricky Stenhouse leading the field into 3 and 4.
Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. entering 3. Coming off of turn 4, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming to the line.
A perfect night will pay off with $1 million. Ricky Stenhouse wins the Season 3 All-Star race at Charlotte.
What a fantastic race by some of these drivers. Some amazing wrecks, some amazing saves we saw off of turn 2. Ultimately ends the night with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going to victory lane.
And these drivers put on a show for us. Ricky Stenhouse drove a great race all night. No mistakes on pit road, no mistakes on the racetrack. He came away with $1 million and a race win at Charlotte. This is Ricky Stenhouse's, I want to say, 3rd Trackmasters Cup Series victory. I know he won, I think he won 2 races in Season 1, none in Season 2. This will be his first since, I want to say, Dover of Season 1.
Yeah, such a heartbreaking day for Chris Buescher. Had such an amazing car all day long. Ended up with a 2nd place finish. That is not the way how you want to end up.
But how about JTG Daugherty? I mean, they had a great race all night. Ryan Preece unfortunately got taken out by some bad luck. But it was still a really good race for that team as a whole. I'm sure that whoever owns that team, maybe his last name's Daugherty, I don't know, was having fun watching this race.
Yeah,
Christopher Bell. I think it happened really towards the end of the race. Let's see.
Yeah, I believe Christopher Bell came off at turn 4, sliding through the grass.
Christopher Bell had an amazing save. Someone in the chat is asking me to turn the music off, and I really hope that doesn't mean that this whole time the Fox Sports 1 theme was playing, because I thought that I set that to not loop.
Yeah, I think it's been playing the whole time.
What?
I think it's been playing the whole time, because I was reading the chat, someone said it earlier.
Oh, I sure hope it hasn't. Great save by Christopher Bell, though. Just kept it really straight the whole time. Never really
bump in the back from Chase Elliott. And you see Christopher Bell goes sliding to the apron. Amazing save for the 95.
He never really got any more sideways than about like 10 degrees maybe. It was a really good save by him. I also wanted to look back at the wreck with... I actually wanted to look back at Clint Boyer, because I don't know how he ended up with all that back-end damage. I think it might have happened in... maybe the start of the race. Well, actually, no, it looks like he just... because it won't let me go back past lap 51. So I don't know if maybe... oh, right, that was when we skipped ahead during caution. But I don't know what happened to Clint Boyer.
Yeah, I believe that was the first wreck that he got ran into the back of. I can't remember who it was. But all I remember is him leaving with some damage.
That might have actually been in the Newman wreck. That was the other thing that I wanted to take another look at. Ryan Newman... that didn't even happen halfway through the race, so we didn't even make it halfway through the race without a huge crash.
Yeah, Newman's first race back since that big wreck at Daytona. Not the way he wanted to have his first race going.
There it
was.
was.
It's hard impact.
Not even his fault, too. He just got hooked by Bubba Wallace. Didn't really have anywhere to go.
Take a look at this again. You have a little shot from Bubba Wallace.
Hooked by Wallace, turned into McDowell, gets Boyer as well. Newman upside down. Unfortunately, it happened at kind of a weird angle of the track where I couldn't really find a good replay camera for it. But that was hard for Newman. Yep, just gets turned down into McDowell, nowhere to go, hard on the wall. I think the worst part about that is that somehow McDowell and Newman ended up practically stationary in the catch fence through there. Newman got into McDowell, and he just got caught on the wall, stuck in the catch fence.
I feel like one of the trends for today was if you didn't start in the top 10, it was pretty hard to drive your way through. See, most of the guys who didn't start up there got in through pit stops.
I don't know if there was... I don't know if there's a way for me to be able to see where they started versus where they finished. I think that Eric Jones got on top of Alex Bowman there. We'll take another look at this. We'll go on board with Alex Bowman because he had a really good view for this whole thing. Here we go. Now watch Bowman and Jones. Ryan Newman's usually the one who ends up with a car on top of him. This time it just happened to be Alex Bowman. Alright, so I think that's all we have for you tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thank you all very much for watching. Congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on his race victory. We will see you all next time.